What's Gucci, everybody? It's AJ here today, and I want to talk about static, which is another C keyword. Now, the static keyword, to give you an overview, is about one, where the variable is located in memory when the program is run, and basically how the variable is shared, if the variable can be viewed in other files. Now, my setup here for this video is that, as you can see, I have a method declaration and a method body over down here at line 16, and I'm going to be getting to that later. But before that, I'm going to talk about static and the difference between having a static variable and an automatic variable. So before in all the tutorials, I've been talking about automatic variable. And there was actually another C keyword called auto. But when you declare a int or another variable, it is automatically automatic, which means that it's initialized when the program is run and deinitialized when you're done with that method or you're done with that function, such as the main function. So it is possible for me to declare a variable outside of a function and for it to be a global variable, which would allow me to access it at any time in the code in this file. So if I did that, if I declared an int and called it burgers, I could reference burgers in the main function, burgers plus plus, and then I could printf burgers. There we go. Oops. And that would print it out. And as you see, I don't have the variable declared in the main function, but I can still use it, and I can use it inside this increment function. I could just declare burgers with an S, and there you go. So that's pretty cool. I can use a global variable. Now, also the thing about this is that I could use this integer, since it is outside of any functions, I could use it in other files. So if I wanted to switch to have another file called typedef, which was about the type definition video I made earlier, if you guys haven't seen that, I could reference, I know I don't have an int main method here, I could reference burgers outside here and do things like decrement it or do things like that. But let's say, though that is what the automatic variable type allows, and by default any just normal variable is automatic. But now I'm going to talk about the static variable. So now I'm declaring a variable with static int. Static is always before the type, and then we're going to call this fries. And now the first difference I want to say about static is that I said that I can use this integer, this regular integer burgers here, in other files if I wanted to. I could just type in burgers and start using it, and it's shared across all my files. But static stops that. Static only allows fries to be used within this file, within static.c, as I have it named. So it kind of protects my variable and allows other people to not be able to use it. So that's kind of cool. And what static also does is that it preserves its memory throughout the execution of the program. So let me show you. So I'm going to get rid of burgers here, and I'm going to have fries plus, and I'm going to make a for loop here. I'm going to make this fries as well. So what I'm going to do is increment is just going to return fries plus. And what am I going to do here? I'm going to use burgers too. I'm going to make a for loop, and this for loop is going to run, let's make it run 100 times. So it's less, as long as I is less than 100, I want to increment I, and I'm going to do burgers plus equal to increment, and that's it. And what this will do is that this is what I'm going to show you about the variable, what is in the variable and the location of the variable stay throughout the execution of the program, unlike a regular variable. So fries is static. Now what's going to happen here is this increment is going to return fries, which I need to initialize this to a value of, let's make it 1. It's going to return fries, which in this case is 1, and then increment it, and then next time, but the next time I call it, it will be 2, and it'll be 3, and then it'll be 4, and then it'll be 5. So the static variable will be allocated in memory throughout the execution of the program. So if I run this, I get 101. And the reason it printed out 101 is because it just for looped 100 times, and I'm printing out fries. But let me print out burgers here, and this should print out, I'm going to guess, 5,050. Hey, it did print out 5,050. Just so you know, 5,050 is the sum of 1 through 100. So if you added 1, 2, 3, 4, 99, 100, 50, all those numbers between 1 and 100, you'd get 5,050. It's kind of a cool mathematical principle that you can definitely Google or look up. And so what this is doing is, as you can see, is that this is a regular for loop, and basically I'm calling increment, and then I'm assigning it to burgers, and burgers is kind of like a sum, and then I'm printing that out. But what would happen if I took static here and I put it in increment? So now static is initialized before the program, as the program at the beginning of the program. It's initialized, and it stays there indefinitely throughout the execution. So its value is only initialized once. So even if I run this, if I run increment 40 times, the static int fries is only initialized once. If I made this just an int or an automatic variable, I would initialize the integer fries 40 times, but static will make it only initialize once. So that means its value is indefinite. So since this value is indefinite, this will also print out 5,050. It will not reinitialize the variable. Haha. And let me run it again to show you guys. And I get 5,050 again, which is pretty cool. Nothing changed. So when the program runs, one of the first things it does is initialize the static variables, and then it doesn't initialize them anymore. So it will return this. On the first case, it will return 1, then it will increment it, so then it will return 2, increment it, return 3, increment it, and it will keep up summing up in burgers, which are print out. So all in all, the conclusion of what static does is it allows variables to be contained within a file, kind of like making something private in Java, if you know Java. So it allows static variables to be only viewed within those files, unlike global variables that don't have static in them. And static allows the variables to only be initialized once at the beginning of the program and stay there indefinitely, so you can use them throughout, and you don't have to worry about them being reinitialized. Well guys, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I also have code uploaded to GitHub. I have another good example that's similar to this on GitHub. If you need a refresher or to go look at it, I have a link in the description below. Have a great